This video will be for educational purposes, and educational purposes alone. So, I got a message in my inbox the other day from a new Norse pagan. But given the subject matter, which I've highlighted in red, the rules of this app, this subject being on court TV and in the news, I thought a history lesson would be best. So let's try this a second time. From here on out, we will refer to them as that group. That group thinks it's worshiping Odin. Odin has nearly 100 names that have been used throughout time. We're going to drill down on the truth now, and some may not like this. Of course, we land in pre-World War II Germany, an aspect of something that would influence the Third Reich to this day. Notice that name, Wotan. It is not Odin. It's ridiculous that we refer to that group by that name. This concept or invention, never ever a thing that was Viking or ancient Germanic people. But this concept of Wotan would go on to inspire Wagner and his opera, a great disservice to the Germanic tribes that would settle all over Europe and abroad. He used the name Wotan in his opera, the ones where the Vikings had horned helms, and the origin of that nonsense. This would inspire a young up-and-coming Austrian painter. You know the one. Fun fact, that painter would have an autographed copy of Wagner's opera that he took with him everywhere. That painter would come to power, as we all know. The painter, his cadre, along with pseudo-scientists, pseudo-archaeologists, and pseudo-historians, would twist this and run with it. The war ended. Fast forward to modern times. Two men in the U.S. penitentiary system took Wotanism and ran with it. Remember this name. Don't forget that this was all based on a concept and a fiction. All because one little boy who liked Wagner's opera wanted to establish a warrior culture and identity for Germany. The rest, as they say, is history. Or is it? Notice that second word, that second last name. It belongs to David. You will have to Google him. He is quite notorious. McVan and Lane were going to do what World War II Germany did, but it needed a rebrand. As they did, they would need disciples. So they started a prison gang. From here, it would grow through many penitentiaries throughout the country. Many white men having to join just for survival. After they are mistaught and released back into the civilian population, paying their debts to society, well, they would need a way to establish themselves, create a pipeline. They would need to organize on the outside. I wonder how that happened. That's odd. That's suspicious. As a new Norse pagan, I would highly advise you to avoid anything to do with these people. Their network is referred to as the Wotan Network. Their former head used the word Wotan interchangeably with Odin, and is a huge advocate, even having media instructing folks how to red pill folks. You know, because you need to trick people to join up. It's a giant joke to me. It's all based on a fiction. I mean, the timelines even add up. Also, these two men can conduct their operations under secrecy from the courts, under the guise of a federally recognized religion, when actual science tells us otherwise. It was never about skin tone to our ancestors. They hadn't even developed a concept for it. It's science. So you know I'm gonna get trolls in my comments. And I mean, it's well documented. This guy knows. So why don't they? Fast forward to modern time. Not even a generation later, would-be young men with no sense of identity and filled with nothing but hate would need a place to go. And would you look at that? Would-be mentors are standing by to misteach them, exploit them, fill their ranks, fill their coffers, and give them power. But that's a story for another day. In closing, let me begin with welcome. These people are all giving us a bad image. It's good you found out early. They've appropriated our faith, our gods, our symbols, and just about everything. It burdens me to inform you that you're probably going to be called a supremacist. We, and by we I mean the good Asatru and all the other branches that come off, such as Lokians, Rockatru, and many others. But we're working to inform the general public, like yourself. That is the way of the modern world. I hope this history lesson helped you and many others. Stay safe and make sure you do your homework. There's a lot of it.